So what other systems are going to fall now that we've already begun the crumbling? In my last video, I hit it hard and I talked about the system of white supremacy and how that is the underpinning of everything in American society, everything. Go back and watch that video. It's a really important one. I did get a few comments in that video of people saying, wow, I didn't think that when we say systems are going to crumble, that it's more than government systems. Yes. 100%, absolutely. And we have been talking about patriarchy. Patriarchy is a system that needs to fall, is going to fall, and already has begun. But this is why I say that we are just beginning to collapse the systems. This will be a multi-year process. Now, I'm going to pause when I say that because a lot of people freak out and they think I'm saying that everything will be in chaos forever for years. And that's not true. Spirit has repeatedly said that this is like controlled demolition. As things be, remember I did like the awkward, which I can't do because I'm holding my phone, the awkward hand thing where like is one finger, like my hands are, I can't do it. It's like, imagine I have praying hands and as one finger falls down, the hand on the other finger will replace it. I'm so sorry. Okay, regardless. So as various things begin to crumble, that is how we make room for the new. And the only reason they are crumbling now is because enough people are waking up, withdrawing their energy. They have the intention to dismantle it. They have the desire and the intention to create something new. So as some things fall, other things will rise to replace them. So depending on where your focus is during this time, it will be very chaotic. And also, it will be miraculous and incredible as new things immediately come into their place. And one thing I want to point out immediately, have you guys seen lately what's happening on TikTok as this tariffs war with China specifically is blowing up? Ooh, Chinese manufacturers are spilling the tea. They are sharing how their products are made. They're sharing the actual cost of luxury goods. They're talking about their processes and how they work with American manufacturers. They are revealing the true cost of what things cost and how much the markup is when American companies brand them and then sell them to us for a bajillion% markup. That's why Spirit said, remember I was on my vacation and it was a totally different headboard. And I was like, y'all, Spirit woke me up and said, let it all crumble. Let it all crumble. And I know that was really scary for a lot of people. But when we view it like this, you could see, holy shit, that's actually really exciting. If we are letting the tariff war happen, you guys have heard me say one of my favorite mantras. How good can this get? And another one, what now is possible because this thing happened. So as the tariff war is heating up and people are clapping back and people are starting to become aware of the truth behind the narrative, things are now able to start changing. So what's the best that can happen? What if now we develop open source trade? What if now we no longer have to have the middleman? What if consumers can go direct to manufacturer? Have you guys seen those infographics where it shows, you know, all the major brands and then it's like the flow chart and it shows they're owned by like 3 companies and they own fucking everything. And the markup in these things is disturbing and wrong. So what if the trade war and the stock market instability and all the financial bullshit we're seeing is the thing that allows for the new systems to come into place? You know, I'm going to take it back. I'm not even going to say what if. That is literally what's happening. And that's what Spirit has said would happen. As things crumble, new things take their place. Do not be afraid of the crumbling. Let it happen. So let's just take a look at what are some of the other systems that need to collapse and that will be under fire. We're seeing they're going to defund the education system. They're going to dismantle the Department of Education. Education is absolutely something that needs a lot of revision, a lot. And we need a shit ton more money into education as it is. So what's the best that could happen if the education structure in this country begins to crumble? Another system you know I love to hate is religious oppression. I will start making more videos on that. I tread lightly on that one because I know a lot of people in my audience either are religious or have a beautiful relationship to God, or they, you know, that brings them a lot of peace. And so I don't want to be out here with a wrecking ball because you get to keep your connection to the divine. That's yours. But there's a lot of problem with religion as a system, and in particular, white Christian nationalism. And whether or not you believe that your congregation or your religion is part of it, you will be shocked when the truths start getting revealed about the beliefs that are rooted in white supremacy and are rooted in patriarchy and other things that need to fall and are falling. Now, I know we've already had shakeups in the mortgage industry and the housing Is it an industry? I don't know. System. That's another one. That's another one that is due for another reckoning, because the last reckoning we had never righted itself. And then with the pandemic, housing prices and everything, we're in another bubble. And so this is another system that's gonna be up on the chopping block, and needs to be. Now, if we're talking about corrupt systems in the US, who could forget the healthcare system? Spirit has explicitly said in my March and April preview sessions, we are going toward universal health care. We will have that. Enough people in this country have desired and created it with their desire. And so as all these things crumble, that finally makes way and shifts the power so that we will have that. What that might mean in the meantime is some crumbling and is some instability. I have a hunch, this is not a spirit thought, this is a Gia thought. I have a hunch that as we do the whole tariff war, market manipulation, follow the money investigations, we're going to start seeing a lot of privatization, and those who privatized and how they make their money and what kind of profits are there. So privatize healthcare, health insurance, privatize prisons, all these things that are basically just, they should be systems to benefit humans, but they are corporations to benefit shareholders. So all of these things are going to come under fire. And there are probably dozens more, but these are kind of the big ones that, I'm seeing, they're showing me groceries, distribution of food, how we make food and then distribute food, and how we allow things to be affordable with a heavy emphasis on environmental sustainability. So you can see when I say we're just beginning to crumble, we're just beginning to shine a light on things, this should actually fill you with excitement. And while I understand that can trigger fear and dread, which is why we do the work, we do the shadow work. Why does this scare me? Where have I been traumatized before? Where do I feel insecure? And we do that work to figure that out. When we heal the wound beneath it, we can face the challenges with a sense of courage, optimism, and hope. So more things are gonna explode. Yeah, more things are gonna get really loud and really chaotic, but it doesn't have to mean that every time something blows up, we all lose everything. It doesn't have to be that. And in fact, I don't remember if this was the March or April event, Spirit specifically said that as the government-wide departments and organizations collapse, what we will see is a rise of the grassroots organizations that are already doing the thing. So the humanitarian aid, the environmental groups, all these volunteer advocacy, nonprofit, all these kinds of groups that are already out there doing their thing, creating solutions, building systems. They already have ways of helping people. As the government-wide things begin to crumble, there is more power, energy, money, attention on these grassroots ones so that they can rise and become more widespread. So the solutions are already there, or the seeds of solutions are already there. So it doesn't even have to be like a long period of crumbling. It can just be a replacement. Let's call it that. It's not just a crumbling, it's a replacement. So all of this doesn't need to be an explosion, an implosion. It's a transition. And we will know the transition of a certain industry is underway when we begin to see signs of the crumbling. So we are in it for the long haul, and no, that does not mean we get Trump for the long haul. These two things are different. These systems exist outside of government, but as government is the first big shebang to be going through all this, that sends ripple effects out into every industry. So hang in there, fam. Get excited. We are creating a new world. We really are doing it. We are doing it. And as we see more success, more creation of the new, you will get... I can't talk. You will build your confidence, and you will have more excitement over things to come.